What is good, fight fans? It's Ashley's Corner. Shout out to the LDBC. I'm gonna hop right into this video because I kind of got a lot to say. I listened to Barbershop. No, it wasn't. It was Ness from the Boxing Voice had an interview with Gary Russell Jr. Now I made a video a few days ago, almost a week ago probably, and it was about why not have a fight versus Tevin Farmer at 130 versus Gary Russell Jr. And I made that video because Gary Russell did not respond to Tevin Farmer's call out, and when I speak to a lot of different Gary Russell fans, when I tell them about that call out, they don't say anything about it. They just brush past it and talk about Leo or Tank Davis or something else, just like Gary Russell does. And it was very irritating. So I made that video. And I listened to this video because I know that Ness and Tevin Farmer are freaking friends. They're close. So I knew that the question was going to come up, and what Gary Russell thought about Tevin Farmer. So I sat and listened to that very long interview, and this is what I have to say about it. Okay, in the beginning of the video of the interview, before the interview started, okay, at the beginning of the video, before Gary Russell was on, Ness said, if we ask any questions about Lomo, Gary might just hang up the phone. And he said the last interview I saw, he refused to answer questions, saying, I'm not saying nothing until we got a fight or a contract. And if only said it was an interview that took place like 3 months ago on Fight Hype. That's what Ness said. Okay. So my opinion isn't Leo Santa Cruz, Tank Davis, and everybody else a part of that? Like, he doesn't have no contract or fight with none of them, as well as Lomachenko. So if that's the case, he shouldn't be talking shit about nobody, right? You're not going to answer questions about Lomo. You're going to just hang up the phone if you ask a question about Lomo because there's no fight. It sound like some AJ type shit. You can't get in the ring. Well, we don't have no fight made, so we can't get in the ring type shit. Like, that shit's whack, bruh. You're going to see how many times he shifts back and forth and straddles the fence and contradicts himself. But he says I'm saying just like, Lomo don't have no contract, neither do they. He doesn't have a contract with them either. But when Gary was asked what he knows about his opponent, King Tug, Gary said he thinks he is a pretty good fighter. He thinks he is a very, very suitable opponent. And I take my hat off to anyone that steps in the ring and try to win the title from me. And that's crazy because I'm the longest reigning champion, period, up to date. Tug is more technically sound, but I never really worry about my opponents. Never really focus on them or my opponents. End of quote. Now, why does he keep saying that he's the longest reigning champion, period? Why does he keep saying that? Sometimes he says it, sometimes he says the second. So that tells me that Deontay Wilder had his title longer than you do. But you still use it whenever you think nobody knows that. Whenever you think you're talking to somebody that don't know that Deontay Wilder had that belt longer, you use it to your advantage. And it's sickening. It's starting to get very annoying because you know damn well you're not the longest reigning champion. Just stop saying it. And he said it 2 more times in this entire interview with more emphasis on it. I'm the longest WBC reigning champion. So yes, that's what he's saying. And he knows he is not. So please stop saying it, bruh. Stop saying it. And just like I said, Deontay Wilder had his title, what? I think he got his title a month before Gary Russell. It's not a long time, but a month before. He still defended it 10 times. You only defended it 4 times, Gary. Stop saying it like it's a big accomplishment. You ain't do shit with it. You ain't even fight nobody You fought four people, four nobodies to defend it. Please stop saying it. You're number two, not number one. But after that question, Ness asked about Tevin Farmer. Ness asked if he was going to move up to 130 and fight Tevin Farmer for that IBF title. Gay Russell said he better be careful what he asks for. I think Tevin is a good fighter. Tevin is a good boxer, is what he said. He's a good boxer, and he's slick. He's crafty. You know what I'm saying? But Tevin doesn't have any F you on his punches. He don't got no fuck you on his punches, is what Gay Russell said, and I quote. Okay, and he also says you need more in this sport. He has nothing to make someone respect him, and his ideal way of trying to gain respect is to outpoint a person and mental discombobulate a person. He doesn't have no real power. Tevin Farmer been knocked out before, and he added 4 losses to his career. Facts is what he said. Okay, he's still talking. He said facts. That's something you've got to take into consideration. If he want to jump himself out there, then he got to get past JoJo Diaz first. But I wouldn't mind breaking my foot off in him. He he don't have enough in his arsenal to keep me off him. He can't get away with slickness and his hand speed. That shit won't work with me. So I've been looking for a reason on why he don't want this fight, or why he didn't say anything back. This is how Gary Russell feels about Tevin Farmer. His whole call out, this is how he feels about it. But what irritated me just a little bit is that you are bigging up this King Tug that I've never heard of. And I'm not the biggest boxing fan, but I'm big enough to know that this guy is probably somebody coming up. Tug, the dude that he's fighting, only got 11 fights. He has 11 fights. So by the time he get, the amount Tevin Farmer has, he might have 4 losses. Who knows? Like, the man hasn't fought nobody, just like you never fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? And it says that this guy is the IBO champion. So they asked him if this is basically they asked him if this was a unification fight, and Gary Russell said it's not. This is not a unification fight. Even though the guy do have the IBO belt, it's not a real top belt. I guess that's probably why he's saying that it's not a unification fight. But this is for the WBC and IBO title. And the fact that he respects Power so much but don't respect Tank's power. But okay, he respects Power so much, so he's disrespecting Tevin Farmer because Tevin Farmer don't have no FU on his punches. But he's respecting this dude King Tug because he's 11-0 with 9 knockouts, and his knockout rating is 81.82%. But just like I said, the man hasn't fought nobody. Everybody has a lot of knockouts. The beginning of their fight, first 12 fights, unless they're really a weak puncher. But on the upside, this guy is 5'8" with a 66-inch. This guy is 5'8" with a 66-inch reach, and Gary Russell's 5'4.5" with a 64-inch reach. So the fact that the man got short arms and he's 4 inches taller than Gary Russell, but only got a 2-inch reach advantage, doesn't make big difference to me, and that's just me. But okay, moving on. He did say that he respects anybody that steps in the ring to get this title from me and all of this stuff, but he didn't give Tevin Farmer no respect. All he said is that Tevin Farmer is a good boxer and he's slick and he's crafty. That is it. That's all he said. Everything else was an insult. All right? He didn't say not one thing bad about King Tug, about the person that he's about to fight. And I was just like, yo, come on, bruh. Like, the dude King Tug got the IBO, and you not even claiming this to be a unification, but Tevin Farmer got that IBF champion and that IBF title. IBF is a real title. You know that. Like, come on, man. That's a little bit, that's a little messed up. From the things that he said about Tug, and then the things that he right after that he said about Tevin was flip floppy to me. But when asked about Diaz versus Farmer, he was asked. Niaz said, "What do you? I mean, and Ness said, what do you think about JoJo Diaz versus Tevin Farmer?" Gary Russell said, "I prefer to go with the more intellectual person, like always, than the more stronger person." That's what he said. "I'd rather go with the more intellectual person rather than the stronger person." Tevin has more in his arsenal after he said he don't have enough in his arsenal to fight him, but he has a more in his arsenal than JoJo Diaz. And but JoJo is more technical. He said, but I think JoJo is too strong for him and too much of a dog for him overall. So he's basically going with JoJo Diaz to win the fight. With a lot of people. A lot of people's going with JoJo Diaz to win the fight. Gary said, though, if he doesn't get Leo Santa Cruz after he fights this dude Tug, and if he beats Tug, if he don't get Leo Santa Cruz, then he's going to see, then all of us are going to see some dramatic changes. I say kudos, and you should have did those dramatic changes 24 months ago. You should have did it at least 2 years ago. And then he says, Gary said Leo is a small guy. He is not a 135 pounder, and he is a 122 pounder. So I'm saying, damn, Gary, you've been chasing a 122 pounder any goddamn way. I did it anyway. You done chased him anyway for 4 years, 5 years, or whatever, and counting. You know what I'm saying? But he said because of that, there is not going to be a fight at 135 against Leo and Tank, because Leo is too small and can't really make 135. He's saying if Leo fight Tank to be at 130, he don't see that possible because Tank can't make no damn 130. Yeah, he don't see Tank making 130 to fight Leo on pay-per-view. In my opinion, man, look, y'all, I'm gonna tell you. Tank being on pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying, and him getting that pay-per-view check, he will make weight, yo. I'm telling you. Tank been fighting people like Gamboa and stuff. In his mind, it really wasn't a challenge for him. It was just another fight. It was just another fight. But this pay-per-view is what Tank's been dreaming of. This is a different type of money. This is a different type of this right here boosts your career. If he does this and win, he will continue to be on pay-per-view. Tank knows what that means. This is where he wanted to be. In the beginning of his career, he always saying how slow the money came and this and that and pay-per-view. I want to be a star. He's got the money is flowing now. He is star. And now it's pay-per-view. He made a mistake in missing weight. Still did what he had to do, and now his next fight is going to be pay-per-view. I guarantee you this boy is going to make the weight. And if he don't make the weight, he's going to make it the second time, just like he did in the Gamboa fight. There will be a fight. Me personally, I want this man to make weight. I want him to receive all the all the help that's given to him. Don't shut out people and try to do it yourself. Try to be a boss, trying to be a big businessman by yourself. Accept that help, yo. Fighters have a team for a reason. You got to apply your team. Use your team, especially the night before the whole week of the fight. Don't shut them out the night before the fight. Try to make weight by yourself like they said you tried to do with the Gamboa fight. Stop, bruh. Everybody has a team for a reason, yo. Even the boss, the top man, always got one or two, got a concierge. They always got somebody, a lieutenant. They always have somebody right next to them helping them. You need that person, Tank. But in my opinion, this is what Tank's been waiting on, So Gary Russell, you're not gonna fight Leo Santa Cruz next, bruh. You are not fighting Leo Santa Cruz after this dude King Tuck. Facts. I'm gonna put my own facts on it. Facts. You're not gonna do it. Leo Santa Cruz and his team, Tank Davis and his team, all agree and is talking about that fight. Ain't nobody talking about Gary Russell as far as the people that Gary Russell want to talk. It's all one-sided. It's not happening, bruh. Leo versus Tank is happening on pay-per-view next, not you. You're not going to be part of that. Facts, bruh. I guarantee you're not going to fight that dude next, yo. Gary also said if he doesn't get Leo after this fight, and if Tevin Farmer beats Jojo Diaz, then he doesn't mind taking a one-fight deal with Eddie Hearn to fight Tevin Farmer on the zone. Big ups! Somebody been listening. Somebody been talking to this man. Take the Tevin Farmer fight. Move up to 130. Take that Tevin Farmer fight. There's no reason for you not to. You can still do whatever you want to do. Just take the fight and then continue to do whatever you want to do. Props. I love it. Gary Russell said, and I quote, I don't want to stay at 126. I only stayed at 126 because I wanted a unification fight with Leo Santa Cruz. End of quote. Bruh. So like I've been saying, you held your entire career up for Leo Santa Cruz and never even got the fight. Gary Russell, you should have moved up to 130 like I said a long time ago. Jeez, and now he don't even have a choice. The only person that you got to fight at 126 is Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson got Bud in this corner and got Ward hands is all on that man. It's not going to happen for you, bruh. You about to be chasing Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, I think, going to end up moving to 130 in probably next year. Now you don't have a choice but to move up. It just looks bad. You just been chasing this dude this whole time, and the proof's right there. You just said it. The man is still chasing Leo to this day. He's still chasing him, still talking about it, still calling his name out. Jeez, man. And the shit is sad, yo. It's sad, but at least we will see him versus better opponents at 130 or 135, or wherever the hell he plans on going, man. But Gary said he is going to move up to 135 and skip 130 pounds, man. Because he wants Loma. That's what he said. He said after he fights Tug, he said that he's going to move up to 135 because he wants Loma. Because he wants Loma. That's what he said, all right? And then, I see he's only going for Loma, though. You know what I'm saying? I love it. But Gary beats nobody at 135. What title is he taking from somebody at 135? And you're not going to get that Lomo fight, so get that shit out of your mind. I see Lomo doing all the shit that he need to do at 135 and then leaving the division before Gary even gets there. Honestly, that's just what I see. But who is he beating at 135 to become champion? Seriously, come on now. I want to see Gary versus Chris Cobalt at 135. He can start there. He can start right there with Little B-Hop just to see how you fare at 135. Just to see what time it is, since you like intellect so goddamn much. Fight Little B-Hop, fight Chris Colbert for your first fight at 135. Let's see that, all right? I will enjoy that. But I respect the fact, y'all. I respect the fact that Gary Russell did say he will fight Tevin Farmer, all right? He said he'll go fight Tevin, spank him, and I don't even want his title. And then move up to 135. I am feeling it, cuz. I'm feeling it, cousin. But to be smarter and for you not to go out, with empty-handed after you fight Tevin Farmer at 130, and you get that IBF that you don't really want, challenge for the WBA title, which is the title that the guy you've been chasing, Leo Santa Cruz, has at 130. So if you do plan on fighting, if you get past King Tug, like you say, he kept calling him King Tug. If you get past him and Farmer get past Jojo Diaz, which is a feat, because Jojo Diaz might whoop Farmer's ass. He might, I don't know. But if both of y'all get past each other and you plan on stopping at 130, because you don't even want to be at 130, you want to go to 135. If you plan on stopping there for a one fight deal with Eddie Hearn to fight on the zone, and if you take that title from Tevin Farmer, why not sit just for about a month or 3 months, just to see how Leo Santa Cruz feel about a unification at 130 for that IBF title? He's the one that's campaigning at that weight, and you don't want to be there. So I would go there, challenge him. If he say no, then I'll relinquish the title and move up to 135 and go for Loma. That's what Tank did. You know, he was trying to fight Farmer. It didn't work. He relinquished it and went up and went for Lomo. So it is what it is. But when he goes up to 135, he's not going to get no Lomachenko, especially not immediately. So why not fight Chris Colbert? Why not? I don't see why not. But by this time in the interview, their fans was asking questions. They had questions written down that the fans wanted to know. And one of the fans asked, why don't you show up at the Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz fight and make yourself into the ring? And Gay Russell says, I'm not that type of guy. I needed a moment of silence. I had to stop my video. The man said he's not that type of guy, yo. Out of all the shit that this man is, he's not that type of guy. He'll run up on your daddy because he want to fight, but he ain't that type of guy. But I'm going to tell you what he said. And I quote, Gary Russell says, I'm not that type of guy. Boxing is what I do. That's not who I am as an individual. And this, matter of fact, pause. This goes to the dude that was in my comment section saying, it's stupid for me to say that he doesn't like it. The boy don't like boxing. He don't like it. It's a job. That is it. All professional fighters would tell you they're a fighter. That's who they are. This man is someone else. He just fights for a living. But back, and I quote, he says, I'm not that type of guy. Boxing is what I do, is not who I am as an individual. Morally, I'm very correct, is what he says. I would never change my character or do anything outside my character to try and gain any type of currency or wealth on any end. That's demoralizing to me. That's just something that my integrity won't allow me to do. End of quote. Now, what do you think about that? Jeez, yo. Both of them was trying to talk Gary into it, though. Ness and the other dude that was on there, they was both trying to talk him into it. Because he sound, bruh, you know how crazy you sound, dog? That's how I know this is a job. And you're not trying to make it a adventure. This is just a job to you. It's not that serious. But both of them was trying to talk him into it. And Gary said it's a lot of people that he knows that's been trying to tell him that the same thing, that he needs to go to these fights and get in the ring. But, Gary said, and I quote, I'd rather just sit back and be like, what's up? All right, this video is long enough, man. I had to cut that video short, bro, to cut the live short. I ain't even watch the whole interview, bro. It was way too much. But I'm going to put in the specs real quick. When this fight comes up, I am going to make a video about it. Matter of fact, is it up already? Shit, I don't even know. But when it comes up, though, I will make a video before this fight happens. The guy he's fighting, King Tug, as he say, is 11-0. He has 9 knockouts. He's only fought for 50 rounds. His knockout rating is 81.82%. He is the IBO champion. He's 27 years old. He's 5'8" with a 66-inch reach. And Gary Russell Jr. is 30-1. He has 18 knockouts. He's fought for 148 rounds. His knockout rating is 58.6%. He is the WBC champion. He's 31 years old. He's 5'4.5" with a 64-inch reach. and he is a southpaw. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it out of my system. I had to say all of that ish, man, because I really just didn't understand where Gary Russell's head was, and now that people always ask me questions about Gary Russell because they know I'm a Tank fan. And listen, like, I'm not Tank's guardian angel. I tell the truth in my videos. It's just a lot of times he's gotten me upset. I've said things that he does that he did was stupid and embarrassing and all that other type of shit. Look, but it is what it is, man. Like, if I respect boxing ability. I respect being entertained, and if you can do that, then it is what it is. My favorite fighters are the biggest stars in this game. My favorite fighters are everybody that passed my eye test and became my favorite, and it never changed. My favorite fighters are the ones that get the biggest views. My favorite fighters has always been Earl Spence Jr., Deontay Wilder, and Gervonta Davis. That's it. Those are my top three, my favorite fighters. I have other fighters that I watch. I have other fighters that I like, and then there's everyone else. I like a lot of fighters. I like boxing ability. What you do with your Twitter fingers and outside of boxing is your own business. Yeah, when it starts to hinder your career and put a stain on your career, that's when I get irritated and I say things about it. But if if this was about personality, it would be a lot of fighters that I would never watch and never talk about. So in my opinion, Gervonta Davis is a great fighter, and Tevin Farmer is okay, and so is Gary Russell Jr. I don't see special with neither one of those fighters. No, I just don't. And for everybody that always asks me questions about Gary Russell Jr., now, because of this interview and because of this video, you see now how I feel about this and all of my other videos prior to this video. But in whole, I now see what's going on with Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr., I do believe that he will move up to 135 pounds. But I know for sure if he does not take this fight with Tevin Farmer after saying that he will do it and it being a smart business decision, then this man needs to be written off totally. Honestly, if he doesn't do these things that he said that he was going to do. So I'm expecting him to do what he said. I'm expecting him to move up to 130 after this, only if Tevin Farmer beats Jojo Diaz. But even if he doesn't beat Jojo Diaz, he should just move up to 130 and beat the person that he already beat already, which is Jojo Diaz. But he should move up to 130, fight Tevin Farmer, and then he's going to move up to 135 to campaign at that weight class. But yet, let's not forget that this man didn't say that he only has 6 more fights. And 2, I think 3, this is about to be the 3rd, already down the drain. So if he fights Tevin Farmer, he will have 2, maybe 3 more fights left in his arsenal. Left in his career. I'm just saying, I would like to see better fights. People talk about Gary Russell like he's really the bee's knees. You're not the bee's knees until you fight somebody that's actually talented, in my book, or somebody that has the upper hand against you. And nobody's had that with Gary Russell, so he's a regular fighter in my book. But always like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.